Imagine selling everything you own, your house, your car, your landed properties, everything, just for a chance to start over in a foreign land. Now imagine an entire generation doing exactly that. In Lagos, Nigeria's largest city, they have a word for it: Japa, the Great Escape. Every single day, 47 Nigerian doctors leave their country. Every month, thousands of engineers, tech professionals, finance professionals pack their bags and chase their dreams across the oceans. They are in London hospitals, they are in Dubai skyscrapers, in Australian tech hubs, in Canadian tech hubs, anywhere else but home. This isn't just another migration story. This is a tale of how Africa's largest economy is watching its middle class vanish, one passport at a time. This is Discourse, and I'm Azubuike. You know, it's fascinating when you travel to places like London, places like Dubai, Australia, and the US. You keep running into Nigerians who are making waves in their fields. Nigerian doctors, Nigerian engineers. You talk about notable infrastructural projects being carried out all over the world. It's hard for you not to find Nigerians involved in these projects. But here's the thing. This isn't just about Nigerians seeking greener pastures elsewhere. The story is a lot more complicated than that. It's a complex story about dreams, survival, and the unexpected consequences of global migration. Let's break this down, starting with the why. Why are Nigerians living in such unprecedented numbers? Well, imagine waking up one morning and then you realize that you are just worth 1/5 of your value 3 to 4 years ago. Chai! That's exactly what happened in Nigeria. The Naira, which traded at about 380 Naira to a dollar 4 years ago in about 2020, now trades for an average of 1,600 Naira. Let that sink in for a moment. Everything imported, from phones to cars to industrial machinery, has basically become 5 times more expensive. But here's where it really gets interesting. Nigeria's middle class, once the backbone of her economy, is being squeezed from both ends. They are earning the same salaries, but their money is worth less and less each day. Their value depreciates more and more each day. And get this, many people who graduate from school these days are taking jobs in Nigeria, not because they want to build a career there, but because they want to put themselves in a position where they can seek for work in other countries of the world. The same thing applies across different fields. People graduate from school and take up roles in Nigerian companies with the singular objective of building themselves up professionally and be able to put together some fund to sponsor themselves so that they can migrate. This is what the Japa dream has brought to Nigeria's middle class. They are using these positions as stepping stones for international opportunities. If you look at it in that sense, it feels like the entire professional class is in a perpetual state of preparing to leave. Now let's talk about where they are going. The usual suspects, the UK, the US, Canada, and Australia have traditionally been top choices. But here's the plot twist. These countries are starting to push back. They've seen an influx of Nigerian immigrants and they are beginning to tighten up their policies. They've had just about enough of foreigners, especially Nigerians, streaming into their countries. Student visas are becoming harder to get. Requirements for work permits have become more stringent. It's even more difficult to take dependents now, even when you get a job that sponsors your visa. They've made it such that they're trying to cut down immigration by all means. So even bringing your family members along have become quite complicated these days. But here's what's fascinating. Nigerians are adaptable. When one door closes, they find another. If you can't go to the UK, they try Germany. If Germany doesn't work, they try Luxembourg. If Australia is too tough, they try Malaysia. They go to Cambodia. If the United Arab Emirates is getting strict with Nigerians, they look at opportunities in South Africa. It's like watching a global chess game where the players are constantly adjusting their strategies. And the Nigerians in this case are not just the pawns in the chess game. They are actually the chess masters themselves. So while the other guys are moving their system to please themselves and make sure their society evolves how they want their societies to evolve, Nigerians are looking from the outside. They understand the global dynamics of immigration and they try to key in where they think they can find the best opportunities. Nigerians have had to adapt to global immigration trends in order to be able to liberate themselves from economic shackles that hold down Nigeria's middle class back home in Nigeria. But, and that's a big but, there's a darker side to the story. Nigeria is experiencing what experts call brain drain. And this is brain drain on steroids. The middle class in Nigeria isn't just being depleted, it's being completely hollowed out. I'm talking people selling their homes. I'm talking people selling everything they own in their lives. The lives they've built over the past 10 to 20 years just for the chance to go to a foreign land and start all over again. Think about that for a second. Now you might be thinking, but is this even sustainable? Is this even good for Nigeria? And that's where the conversation gets even more interesting. Because while individuals benefit from migration on a personal level, the country as a whole is losing its brilliant minds. The country is losing its innovators. If you look around you, chances are the best graduating student that you knew while you were in university is somewhere out there, not at home. Some of the most intelligent people you know in your life, in academics, in your profession, are not in Nigeria today. But here is where I want to flip the script. Look at countries like China, the UAE, even Malaysia. They were once sending countries too, but they transformed themselves. They invested in infrastructure. They invested in education. They invested in their industries. They created environments where their talented citizens want to stay and help to build. And this is where the opportunity lies today for Nigeria. Instead of just watching talents leave, what if Nigeria can actually harness the global experience that its citizens all over the world have today? What if the country can create conditions that can actually make people want to stay, or better still, make people want to return back home with their international experiences and connections? The solution does not lie in closing borders and trying to make it difficult for people to leave. It's in building a Nigeria where people won't want to live in the first place. Creating opportunities for our young people and our bright minds. Making it worth it to live in Nigeria, to want to work in Nigeria. Fixing infrastructure and building institutions that work. Look at countries like Brazil, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Malaysia. These countries are not perfect. They might not be there yet, but they've shown that development is possible. When countries develop, their citizens gain respect globally. Back in those days, if you were in the US or in the UK or in different countries of the world and you see a Chinese man, you say, oh, that's a Chinaman. They look down on them. They respected Japanese people, but then they look down on Chinese people. Today, the story is no longer the same. A Chinese man is as respected as anybody anywhere in the world. If you look at him and say he's Chinese, they say, wow, these guys are absolutely intelligent. Those guys are changing the world. Don't you think a Nigerian can be in that position at some point in the future? And when we talk about some point in the future, that future is what we need to build together, both government and its citizens. So when countries develop, their citizens gain respect all over the world, not because they are living, but because they are building something that is worth staying home for. So here's my question for you. What if this Japa phenomenon is not actually just a crisis, but a massive opportunity for Nigeria? An opportunity for us to rethink how Nigeria develops its talents, builds its institutions, and creates its future. Because at the end of the day, Nigeria isn't just a place where people live. It's a home of millions of people who dream of a better future and who are willing to do whatever it takes to build that future. If you found this interesting, don't forget to like and share with your friends. Please consider subscribing to this channel for unique insights into Nigeria's economic and national issues. So what's your take on our migration situation? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Stay curious and keep asking big questions. Thank you very much for watching this video.